Hello everyone and welcome to the STARMAKER Cosplay Masterclass. I'm Bear Soul Savage and today we're diving deep into the art of cosplay. We'll cover everything from embodying a character to designing your backdrop, crafting your costumes, and nailing your performance. Whether you're preparing for a competition, a video performance, or just for fun, I'll guide you step by step through the process. So let's get started. Let's start out today by talking about choosing and embodying your character. Cosplay isn't just about looking like a character, it's about becoming them. The first step in your cosplay journey is choosing a character that excites you. Here are some things to consider. Passion. Pick a character that you love. This will make the whole process more enjoyable. Study your character's personality, mannerisms, and expressions, and watch their scenes in shows, games, or in movies. Then think about their movement and posing. Practice their stance, their gestures, and iconic poses in front of a mirror or a camera. And then there's voice and catchphrases. If your cosplay includes voice acting, practice their way of speaking. So let's take 3 minutes right now, and I want you to try and mimic your character's posture, facial expressions, and signature line. So you're just going to think of a character in the next 3 minutes, okay? And you're going to think about different ways that they sound, different ways that they move, their body language, their facial expressions, their arm movements, the way that they walk. And I want you to practice those things. Just think about how they do it, and then I want you to mimic it, okay? Any character that you want in the whole world. I just want you to think of one and just try to be just like them, physically speaking, and how they look and speak and act and move. Okay, 3 minutes on the clock. Start it.
Disney characters turning into different Disney characters. Let's go. Girls, come on. Leave the saving the world to the men? I don't think so. So for Elastigirl, she's got this S thing going on. I keep my mouth pretty tight. She's got a bit of a drawl. I'm going to loosen my mouth, lose the S. I'm going to lean into the drawl, pitch my voice up a little bit, and I'm going to say, yeah, no, I don't really do mud. Ironic, isn't it? And it's Rosetta from Tinkerbell. Now I'm going to lower my voice a bit. I'm going to change my accent over to a British accent. I'm going to be super out of breath. I've been telling a crazy story, and Daddy, they took my boots. And it's Jane from Tarzan. Now I'll keep the British accent. I'm going to do my vintage trick. I'm going to pitch my voice up higher, be younger, and say, ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them. And it's Marie from the Aristocats. Now I'm going to lose the accent. I'm going to keep my voice young, and I'm going to yell out, are you sure this water sanitary looks pretty questionable to me? And it's Tantor.
Catherine, and today we're going to discuss getting into character. I've been getting a lot of questions about this recently, especially since I'm in a show right now, and it's something that I've also been focusing on a lot because I'm in a show right now, and I've been really actively paying attention to what I do to get there, to be in the right mind space. Mind space? Headspace? Mind frame? What are words? So today I'm going to share some of the tips and ideas that I have on how to get into character for actors. But if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name's Catherine Steele, and I put out a new theater-related video on every Theater Thursday, plus I do bonus uploads throughout the week, so if you haven't already and you'd like to, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you get notified for all future videos and you get to join the Theater Thursday fam. First we take over Broadway, and then the world. You can follow me at Kath_Steele on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a Facebook page, but without any further ado, let's talk about getting into character. So the thing that helps me get into character the most is focusing on the specifics. Filling in all the little details really creates a real world for me as an actor. So the three places that I get most of my specifics to create from are from the text, my backstory, and my specific production. So the text are the lyrics and lines, basically what's in the script, what is in the score, what are you saying, what are you singing. Those are the things that cannot be changed. They are there no matter what. Those are your guidelines, those are your blueprints with which to create this character. Keep in mind that every show has been written and rewritten 1,000 times. This version that gets published, the script and score that are in your hand, it's incredibly specific. Each word, each note was handcrafted for a reason. Especially if you're dealing with someone crazy nuanced like Sondheim. As you guys know, for work right now, I'm playing Rapunzel in Into the Woods, and something that I realized is that aside from my duet with the witch, Our Little World, which is optional, we put it back in, most of the stuff that I'm singing doesn't have lyrics. So how do I create a person off of that? What clues did Sondheim give me? The more stable and content my character is, the more middle ground my notes are. The more I get agitated or scared or just kind of become unhinged, the higher my stuff goes. Of course, that's not written into the script or the score, but that's the way that I'm interpreting the text and the way that I'm utilizing the blueprints and clues given to me. Backstory is what you come up with as an actor. Again, it might not be something that is written into the script or something that the audience learns or ever sees. It's something that you privately create in your brain that helps inform your performance. A good backstory should be influenced by the text. It should make sense that your character's life and experiences up to now will turn them into the person that you see on screen or on stage. And the third part, your specific production. One of the things that I love most about musical theater, and just theater in general, is that each production is so different. You can be working with the same outline and create something completely new. Some of the biggest factors that change and really influence my performance tend to be the set, my costume, my relationships to the other characters, and how those other characters are played. For instance, in Into the Woods, my tower is decked out with so many flowers. It's beautiful. It looks all viney and magical and princessy, and I love it because I now have that to play with. One of my character choices and one of my backstories is that Rapunzel loves flowers. I spoke to the costume designer and I made and brought in my own flower crown because I feel like that's an activity that Rapunzel would do. She loves flowers, she loves her hair, of course she'd put flowers in her hair. That's a specific thing that the audience probably won't see or notice, but it makes a world of difference to me. I'm not just what the audience is seeing, I have depth. I think that's what makes a character even more interesting and complex. Something else that's really been helping me get into character is reading poetry. I know a lot of people who like to listen to music to get into that headspace of their character. Personally, I don't do that because I'm always listening for my cue. I have like a lot of weird things that I sing out in the middle of the show, so I'm always listening, but I found that poetry really helps me out. I found a few passages and poems that not only really touch me personally, but I think would really touch Rapunzel and really apply to her situation and who she is as a person. So I either just keep the poems with me in my dressing room, or I'll take a picture of it and I'll have it on my phone and I'll just kind of reread it or kind of repeat it in my mind as a mantra. It kind of gives me a thesis, something that's playable, something that's real to me. So those are my tips on how I find my character and how I get into character. I hope this helped you guys out, or you at least found it interesting. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
What are the similarities and the main differences between you and this character? Where can you start in order to put your face on the character? Where can you connect your identity with the identity of the character? And that leads to step number 2. Step number 2, start somewhere. Once you had a look at your character, it will be time to begin. You should start building your character from the feature that strikes you the most. At the beginning, you should start from the movement, the way the character moves, or you could focus on his voice and the way he speaks. You could start from a body posture or a gesture he often makes. Again, the context for which you're creating the character will influence the process. For example, in theater, you usually start from the bigger picture, so from the movement, and then you move to the subtleties and the details of the personality. So first comes the movement and the physical presence, and then you get into voice, face expression, and personality details. In film, the process can be different because the main focus is on the face expression and the voice tone, so the movement is usually secondary. If you're an acting student, you might already know different approaches. All techniques focus on different aspects, but the most important thing remains the same. The actor must find his way to play a different character consistently. Step number 3, become the character. This is a central section of the process. You need to make the switch and become your character effectively, so that every time you have to play the character, you'll be able to jump into the role and start playing as a different person right away. Through exercises and rehearsal with the rest of the group, you'll build the self-confidence you need in order to play the character in that particular context. You need to become acquainted with the fact that you are the character in that particular play or movie, that the character has your face and your features. This is particularly important for roles that can feel a little intimidating, because many famous actors played the same role, or because you feel that for some reason you're not good enough. So make use of all the techniques you know and make the most out of the rehearsal process. The more comfortable you feel playing the role, the more creative you'll become, and the better your acting will be.
Now that we know how to embody our character, let's talk about performing on stage, or as we would do it, live. Whether you're in a competition or at a convention, stage presence is key. Confidence makes all the difference. Even if you feel nervous, owning the stage will make your performance stand out. Walk with purpose and take your time with your poses. In competitions and photo shoots, strong, clean poses are essential. Think about your character's iconic stances and practice holding them. Your performance should tell a story, even if it's just a simple walk-on. Think about your entrance, pose transitions, and exit. Now let's talk about costume creation. This is craftsmanship. Whether you make your cosplay from scratch or buy pieces, craftsmanship plays a huge role. So choosing the right materials. Fabric, foam, and 3D printing are all great tools, but knowing when to use what is important. So doing it yourself versus buying. Not everything has to be handmade. Sometimes modifying store-bought pieces can work just as well. And the details and accuracy. Small details like weathering, embroidery, and accessories can take cosplay from good to amazing. Alright, Dragula. Let's do that vampire look. Okay, so I'm just taking my normal foundation and I'm going to put it all over my face like I normally would every day. And it's to get an even color spread all over the surface of my face. I want to make sure there's just a nice even tone to it. Here I'm just taking my foundation and I'm just making it kind of thick over my eyebrows because I'm going to change the shape of my eyebrows, so I want to kind of make the ones that I do have disappear. I'm taking my powder foundation next, and I'm just going to set the foundation that I put on already so it doesn't move or shift in the next section of my application. So next I'm going to take my eyeshadow palette and I'm going to take this color brown and I'm going to just draw the shape of the eyebrow that I want onto my eye. I'm using a nice thin actual paintbrush. This is not a makeup brush. I use actual paintbrushes when I'm doing this kind of makeup. Next, I'm going to take my concealer and I'm just going to go around the bottom part of my eyebrow just to make the line sharper and more basically prominent. After I apply all the concealer, I'll just take a brush and blend it all in. Now I'm going to grab my contour, which is basically foundation, but two different colors of it. One's light and one's dark. I'm going to take the dark side because I want to kind of carve out my face. We're going to make a vampire, so we're trying to make a sunken in face look. So we're going to go on both sides of my nose, and then we're going to go onto the cheeks, and we're going to make it real dark so that it really makes the appearance of a sunken in face. You're going to take the contour, the dark side again, and you're going to go around your chin, kind of make that look a little thinner, but it's more sunken in, and then around the edges of the bottom of your face. I'm going to grab my eyeshadow palette again and take that same brown color, and I'm going to make it darker on my cheeks because the color of my contour wasn't dark enough. It didn't make it appear as though it was sunken in as much as I wanted it to. And you'll see throughout this video that I go back to it and just keep adding to it until it gets that sunken in look that I want. Now I'm going to grab my larger eyeshadow palette. It has a lot of brighter colors, more pigmented. If you don't have this, you might want to get something at least with a darker or a brighter red and purple. I'm going to start out with this red color right here. And I'm just going to start blending it around my eyes. I'm not going to go on my eyelids yet because that's going to be black. But I'm going to go around the tops and around the bottoms of my eyes. And I'm just going to keep blending as I go. All right, I'm going back to my palette. I'm going to use some purples in this pink purple color. We're going to create some darkening in the corners of the eyes. You want to make sure that you're using a smaller brush for this. Now you're taking that purple, pink color and the purple, and you're going to kind of put them together. I use the darker purple too, and you're going to create veins with a thin brush and thin lines. So understanding cosplay competitions. Competitions are a fun and exciting way to showcase your cosplay skills. Some contests focus on performance while others emphasize craftsmanship or character accuracy.
My black one.
On STARMAKER, competitions usually involve live performances, recorded videos, or themed challenges.
Palette, and I'm going to
so there's
blend
some
that
key
in
things
with
to
black
know.
and make it look nice.
You should always
just dark
read the
and
competition rules carefully and know the judging criteria: performance, costume accuracy, creativity, and audience engagement, time limits, and format. Some require short videos and others allow for full performances. Next,
now I'm going to go back
preparing
to that
for a
brown
cosplay
color,
competition.
and I'm going to just go over
Winning
the
starts with good preparation.
the lines that I drew for the
and
veins.
here's how to get
darker.
competition ready. Choose the right character. Pick a character that fits the competition's theme. Choose one with strong visual appeal and stage presence.
So I'm going back to that brown. I'm just going to kind of go over my eyebrows, fill them out a little bit more, straighten them up.
Make sure your cosplay
I feel like I need to bring them in a little bit more to make them look more evil.
Even if you buy a costume, add personal touches to enhance accuracy.
Going in towards my nose type of
your
thing.
Performance. Practice facial expressions, poses, and signature moves. If it's a singing competition, work on breath control.
I'm going to take that dark purple and I'm going to go over just like underneath.
Record yourself and make improvements.
More bag
Plan your setup.
Kind of reinforcing.
Use STARMAKER's background effects
that look
or
a little
real
bit more.
backdrops
So
that
just,
fit your
again, going around blending.
Lighting and
purple,
camera angles
red,
can make a big difference in your presentation.
Whatever until it gets to be that
and
creepy.
Next, what judges
vampirish
look for?
And
every
I just showed you my black
but judges
eyeshadow
genuinely
again. I'm going underneath and just drawing like almost like eyeliner.
Do you match
on my water line down there?
Performance. Are you engaging and
got it in my eye, and that hurt really bad when that happened.
Can you put this all in a fuck?
What you want to do is kind of make it thicker than you normally would underneath your eyes, and kind of pull down with your paintbrush so that the black is kind of smeared almost. You can even take like a smudger thing, and you can like smudge underneath your eyes. I went over the veins again too with black, and this is an ink eyeliner. I'm just drawing eyeliner on the top part of my eyelids. Going back to my eye shadow palette, I'm going to go to that brown again. I go to that a lot, don't I? And I'm going to just, again, I got to create that sunken in, there we go, that sunken in cheek look. I needed a darker brown, and that actually worked perfectly. What do you want to bring it in? Probably pretty close to where your lips are, because you're creating that sucked in look that you want, like almost like a dead look. So you're going to bring that in pretty close to your lips. Once I realized I needed to bring it closer to my lips, it started looking right. Okay, so I'm going back to my brown again, and I'm going to create some veins up on my forehead now. And I'm just going to draw, again, with that thin brush, really thin lines that kind of branch out and create that vein look. Just a couple of them, okay? It's going to create more of that dead, undead type of look. Remember, you are working with eyeshadow, so you do want to take your finger and just kind of smudge it and rub it in a little bit so it looks like it's more natural. Palette, and we're going to the red because we're going to paint my lips red. So when you do yours, you're just going to paint them as directly, the eyeshadow directly on your lips, and get them as red as you can. And then we're going to end up going over that with black. It's going to make a nice dark, deep, like gothic look to it. And here I'm taking the black eyeshadow palette, and I'm just painting around. I'm outlining my lips black, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest with the black. I don't have a lot of paintbrushes, so if you don't have a lot of paintbrushes, make sure you're washing them in between changing colors. Believe me, they get so full of like color so fast, and it gets stuck in there. So I just use a wipe and I clean it off. So I'm going to go for my red again because I'm going to create the blood now that's coming, dripping from my lips. I'm just going to draw like red lines like I did on my forehead, but I'm going to draw them coming from my lip, and just however you want to do it. You're going to see that I build on it, and I have it run down my neck too. And just make sure it's dark enough. Now we're going to talk about what we were supposed to talk about last week, but I was not here because it was the beginning of the masquerade and we had very little time. So I am going to put this all into today's lesson. So how to compete, what to expect, and how to handle both winning and losing. If you want to take your cosplay performance to the next level and stand out in competition, then this part of the lesson is for you. So understanding cosplay competitions. Competitions are a fun and exciting way to showcase your cosplay skills. Some contests focus on performance while others emphasize craftsmanship or character accuracy. On STARMAKER, competitions usually involve live performances, recorded videos, or themed challenges. So there are some key things to know. You should always read the competition rules carefully and know the judging criteria: performance, costume accuracy, creativity, and audience engagement, time limits, and format. Some require short videos and others allow for full performances. Next, preparing for a cosplay competition. Winning starts with good preparation, and here's how to get competition ready. Choose the right character. Pick a character that fits the competition's theme. Choose one with strong visual appeal and stage presence. Perfect your costume. If the contest judges craftsmanship, make sure your cosplay is well made. Even if you buy a costume, add personal touches to enhance accuracy. Rehearse your performance. Practice facial expressions, poses, and signature moves. If it's a singing competition, work on breath control, voice projection, and emotion. Record yourself and make improvements. Plan your setup. Use STARMAKER's background effects or real backdrops that fit your character. Lighting and camera angles can make a big difference in your presentation. So we're going to go back to the eyeshadow.
Bye.